everyone and welcome back to how-to videos on multi-sunlight analysis, and in this video I'll be showing you guys how to export and render the precedent precincts using our multi-sunlight analysis. So let's actually go to our perspective view, and we actually want to you can actually hover around also. I didn't mention this, but we've got this cube navigation system on the top right. If we click on different angles, even the corner of the box, we can set up a perspective. And let's set up an angle that captures, most of the precincts. So I'm happy with this angle here. We can even go a bit higher. So if we drag up a bit like that and just zoom out like that, that captures quite enough. Alrighty, so after we have set up the view we want to take our screen capture from, we can go into our rendering command up on the top panel up here and actually go to render setup, which has like a teapot icon. So what this gives is a command box or command panel, and give us an option to play around with the parameters of this render. In this, we want to make sure production rendering mode is on, so it is, and this will give us a type of target and focus that the render will focus on while it's taking the screen capture. To save the file in our designated area, designated file document, we can scroll down and choose, in render outputs we can hit files. This will bring up our file and document, so you can choose a designated folder to place this file. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We'll just do it under this. And let's make a new folder and name it Sunlight Analysis Render. And then this is basically the folder that we'll save it in. So if you go save, let's give it a file name, so we'll go render1. And then we'll also need to give it a type, so let's do it as a PNG image file and save. Okay. So now that it has given a location to save it, we can scroll back up. We want to change our renderer from Arnold to Scanline Renderer. And once we have done that, we can actually hit render. So this will start producing our actual render itself. We can see that it's loading like that. And once it has rendered, it looks a bit dark. So maybe we can go back and change the brightness a bit if we go down. Alrighty. The reason why that is if we go into rendering environment, we actually change the brightness down here. So if we bring it back up to what it originally was. Alrighty, yeah. Go back into rendering, render setup. Alrighty, and click render again. Yep. Okay, that's better. Now it's not as dark anymore, so we can actually see how the multi-sunlight analysis works. So even in this image here, we can see that the north sun's sitting this way and it wraps around, so it starts to travel from this angle and come back around. And the way to save this as well is if we can go to save image in the top left here, just to make sure. But see how we originally saved the file? It has automatically saved the file here, just to make sure as well. Let's cancel out of there, go into our files, locate where we've saved it, and voila, this is what it should look like. So this has been successfully saved. We can rename it to auto, which is the rendering type of view. So we can actually close that, and now that we've rendered that, we can change our environment to Pseudo. So if we actually go to standard, high quality, rendering, choose our environment, and change to Pseudo color exposure. See how this has automatically changed our view. So if we close that, go into render setup, yep, and hit render, this is going to actually produce something a bit different. So if we go render, we can see that there's a different type of render output, and we can see how the actual lux meter influences our Preston precinct. And it'll produce two types. So it'll produce one with a scale bar or a legend. Let's save both of them into our location. Oh, it's already saved it there. So that's what's good about the file location we did. It automatically saves it to where we want. We can also tell that it's quite warm. So I wonder if we turn down the actual environment settings. So if we go close these and environment, and we turn it down to, let's say, so not much of a difference. I reckon let's keep it at 10,000. Like that, and let's hit render again and see what that produces. Render setup. No, so we don't want to override that because it's got the same name as the other files we've saved. We actually want to change the file name, so if we go to file, we go render 2. Now we can just save it as the second file. So if we hit render, it's going to change the output slightly because we've changed the lux meter. So originally we couldn't necessarily see a lot of this aqua or this blue. Now we can see it as we've turned down the lux meters. And that's a bit better like that. I'm actually go in and change let's see if we can add edged faces. So yeah, that's basically how we interpret multi-sunlight analysis in this particular precinct region. In the next video, we'll be just doing a small comparison of both of the images and talking through what both of these outputs actually represent. Thank you. Look forward to the next video.